Good morning and welcome to Payday Tuesday, the time when our phone pings the most with outgoing debit orders. But more seriously, we're continuing to look at godly business practice. And this morning I have one that's probably particularly relevant to Gen Zs, although to pick them out is probably not kind. So let me rephrase that. I want to speak especially to those young men and women who have anticipated that they'll get a really good paying job without actually doing any work to achieve it. Now, Proverbs has a very interesting verse to speak about that. Proverbs chapter 24 says this: prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that build your house. That's Proverbs 24 verse 27. What I find so fascinating in this verse is it's essentially saying that you need to make sure that your land is cultivated and producing a great return before you consider enjoying the fruits of that labor. God is saying, don't get the cart before the horse. Make sure you are producing something worthwhile before you think of reaping the benefit of that. Now, it's a little bit like people who have these great business ideas and they manage to secure funding for the idea, and the very first thing they do is go out and buy a fancy car, instead of investing that money into their business and allowing the business to grow to the extent that they can afford the fancy car. Because it's that part. Don't get the horse before the cart. God's saying, go out and prepare the field, sow the crops, do the hard work. And when you have an incredibly abundant harvest, then you can consider building a house, starting a family. It's fascinating that this verse really is connected to the process of getting married, because the groom had to provide for his future wife. And in doing that, it was normally be expected that he had a field that was cultivated and working, producing a crop, and a house for her to move into. And so it was connected there, but it was saying, do the work first in the field, do the work outside, make sure that that field is exactly what it should be. And there is a great principle within this verse, and it's the one that says, plan your work, then work your plan. And we all know that planning and preparing enables us to accomplish incredible goals and achieve things that we never thought possible. But it requires, first of all, planning. And that's why the writer of Proverbs speaks about preparing your outside work. Plan how you're going to sow your crops, when you need to plow the fields, when you've got to fertilize, what crops are going to work best in what parts of your land. You see, farming is never easy. It's really hard work, which many of us who simply go to the supermarket and buy the produce often little realize the effort that it takes getting that product to us. The most important thing is plan your work and then take time to work your plan. You see, virtually nothing goes according to plan. So there will be minor adjustments and changes, but you need to know where you're going. You need to know what your focus is. And when you are able to do that, then you need to be flexible to work that plan. And bringing this back to our business lives, the principle is still a good one. Plan your work, put effort into making sure you know where you're going and what you need to do and what needs to happen, and then get stuck in working the plan. And when you do that, you'll find that your effort reaps rewards, and you set yourself up to be able to enjoy the rewards that it brings. Don't just expect to walk into something that pays you a great salary for doing nothing. Plan the work, work the plan. God bless you. Have an absolutely awesome day.